Hello, thanks for coming. Although I am working on a continuing process of testing this would be a good one to watch if you're wondering how to connect two drives together to copy disks. So firstly, I'm going to make sure everything is off. You need to have power, of course, plugged into both drives, which I do not at the moment. Oh, there we go. All right, and then I always talk about daisy chaining. And that means if you look on the back of a 1541, you will find there are two ports that are identical. So one of them you would connect to the computer, to the drive, which I've done with the white one. Now I have the black cable that goes from this drive to this drive. Now, as I was tinkering on this disk drive, I have things to plug in. And normally, of course, these things would be all closed up and you couldn't see the inside. But at this moment, things are open. And we're missing one connector. There it is. Okay, so now, if I turn both drives on, and I try to load the directory, which is load, quote, $, quote, comma, 8, both drives will spin. And in fact, the directory of the test disk does come up. But this one is flashing an error, as it should. So, because they're both device 8, and that does not fly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this differently. So I'm going to put the 1541 test demo disk in there. I'm going to shut this drive off, and then load the directory. Now this will load the directory. And did I miss it? I think I did. Hang on. How to check this out? Why? There must be. I think. Disk address change. Right, so we go up, we move across, put the cursor, we press comma 8. Now, people who have many disk drives will often do this in a permanent fashion. This is a temporary one. So, this disk is right now device number 8. We want it to be 9. This is now 9. This is now 8. We turn this on. And we type in load, quote, comma 9. And it will come up. This will stay this way as long as the drive is on. It will not do it once you have turned it off. So it's a temporary thing. So let's see. We want to why am I not seeing copy? Maybe it's not there. Oh, interesting. All right, it's not there. What is this? That's supposed to be something else completely. Oh. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Here. Go back to white. We're going to load the directory. And there, it's a program by Jim Butterfield called Commodore Butterfield. And it has loaded. Now, we're going to take this out of there. We're going to put this disc in there. And here's my blank disc. And I have, so to summarize, let me clear the screen here. We finish connecting all these disks, but that's irrelevant. If you have two drives set up beside each other, you must temporarily or permanently switch one of them to a different device number to do a copy with this program called Copy-On. I did it temporarily using a program from the 1541 test demo disk called Device. Let's see. Let me get this right. It's called disk ADDR change. In other words, disk address. So the address right now of this disk drive is 8. The address of this one is 9. So that is what we have done. We have changed this, and you can, if you have both drives turned on, when you do this, you will change them both to 9. So you have to load up the program, make sure only one drive is on, make sure you turn any other drive off, and then it'll switch it over. Okay, now we're going to load the copy program. Now this is not, okay, once again, if you don't put in the right drive number, just by habit, always put in 8, it won't happen. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to type in run, and we want to go, actually in this case we want to go from 9, drive 0, there's only one drive which is called 0, and we're going to get 8, 0. And do we want to know the output disk? Yes, and we're going to call it 1541 test demo, comma, I don't know what they called it. I'll just call it TD. The ID is necessary. We're not going to talk about it. Anyway, just put in 2 characters that are hopefully unique. Anyway, so we are going to tell this to format this disk, which means that we'll go bang ahead and format it. This is also another good way to test this disk drive. And if it is working, you should hear the little clicking of the stepper motor going from one track to another, to another, to another. You should. And it is doing that. And once it is finished, I think it will ask us if there's a pattern as to which we want to copy things, or we just want to copy things. It's been a while. But at first, let's get done with the formatting. Just coming along, coming along. We should be almost there. Okay. So now I think it's going to come up and ask us, or maybe, okay, pattern, all of them. And we will just hold down the Y key because we want to copy everything. And probably it's got a bunch of them in the thing, and it's just saying, yeah, copy. So it's going through the list. Oh, maybe. Yep. Okay, so now, when when you do a backup on a dual drive, it just copies the tracks and sectors. It doesn't care what's what. It just does the whole disk. When you use copy all, it will take longer, but it actually copies each file individually and reads and writes it and sticks it on the other disk. So I find it's a good way to test things out and make sure things are working. It is not as fast as a backup on a dual drive, and certainly it isn't as fast as some of the backup systems that were come up with by some people over the years. But sometimes slow and steady is better than rip-roaring speed and then finding out that there was trouble that you didn't know about. So right now, this device 9 is writing to device 8 after the disk was formatted. And it does seem to be taking its time. Okay, so it has copied the first file. We're not going to watch this thing go through the whole thing. There's no way, no how. It's going to take a while. So I think what I'm going to do is leave it here copying. And then I will come back. I don't know if you know, I'm copying stuff onto the disk I typically use to format things. And to test disk drives with. So I think I might want to see if I can find some other disks around and continue to give this disk drive a bit of a workout and a test and make sure it's all good. I might. And also, it may be time to retire this disk, which is getting worn out. It is. So, I think that's it for now. I'll leave this to copy, and we'll come back again later and do more. And make sure that all is well. And as I glance at these two circuit boards, they look pretty similar. I don't see. There were various revisions of these various, and like this one, not everything is socketed. This one, everything major except for one is socketed. These two little chips are socketed. It's just, they did what they did, but they do. Oh, no, that's not the revision of the board, and I'm not gonna. But they do look, even though they're different colors. This is a deeper, richer green. I like the deeper, richer green. They do appear to be the same version of the board. But as you can see, if you look carefully, not everything. Like the big capacitors are different colors. They didn't care. They were trying to crank out massive numbers of drives and computers and stuff as fast as they could and sell them as fast as they could while the market was hot. And they did. They sold millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. They did. So, all right. Enough. We'll leave this to copy until we meet again. Keep your stick on the ice.